Okay.
I tried to do both at the same time, but there's a little bit of a delay in the telephone calls, like
Okay.
about a second delay.
We're going on the air. Go ahead, Loella.
Counting down 15. Good evening and welcome to the first telecom council meeting. It is the emergency meeting of March 19th, 2020. Would the city clerk please call the roll?
If everyone could answer in the affirmative, if you're in attendance. Councilmember Francois,
Yes.
Councilmember Silva, Councilmember Waddell,
Here.
Mayor Haskew. Mayor
Yes.
Pro Tem Wilk,
Here.
Mayor Haskew.
Yes, again. Okay. Because this is a special meeting, there is no public comment except for the item before us. So we are moving on to the staff report. Please take over.
Will do. Dan Buckshire, City Manager, and just verifying, City Clerk Susie, was there any public comment queued up? Just as a double check before I start.
There's no public comment queued up at this time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Dan Buckshire, City Manager, who also serves as the Emergency Services Director, and I can assure you that is the role I have been operating in for the last couple of weeks. As we all know, since we last met, our world has changed dramatically. Course of events that has occurred on March 4th, Governor Newsom proclaimed an emergency for the state of California. On March 10th, the County Board of Supervisors did the same for Contra Costa County. On March 13th, the President of the United States declared an emergency for the United States. And on March 15th, in my role as the Emergency Services Director, I proclaimed a local emergency for the city of Walnut Creek. Following that, the next day, the Contra Costa County Public Health Officer issued a very stringent shelter-in-place order that effectively requires all individuals to stay indoors unless absolutely necessary to go outside for essential services such as food, other types of amenities to get through day-to-day life, if you will. As a result, all non-essential businesses were ordered to close as a result of that order, meaning at this point in time, most all retail is closed, most auto is closed. Restaurants can only operate to serve food either via delivery or as takeout. There's no indoor dining. Social distancing requirements of maintaining 6 feet of space between any individuals are in effect as well. And I do want to note that this order that was issued is enforceable by law enforcement. It is a misdemeanor to violate any of these orders. So what we have been doing feverishly over the last 10 days or so is reviewing all of our operations. All of our city facilities are closed to the public. All arts and recreation programs are canceled until further notice, and the Leisure Center for the Arts is closed through May. And the reason that is out that far is because of scheduling for rehearsals, that if the folks are unable to rehearse over the next couple of weeks, they won't be able to perform in May. So we're closed through that time period. All of our employees, City of Walnut Creek employees that can work from home are working from home. And any essential services that must be provided in person are being performed in person. However, they are very limited, as you might imagine. They are effectively limited to the police department, to inspections for job sites, primarily related to housing or other essential services, types of construction that are occurring. And obviously we have traffic control, some infrastructure maintenance work that is being done intermittently and as needed. We have created a COVID-19 response team that has been meeting daily for about the last week to 10 days, meeting for several hours a day, sometimes multiple times a day, to work through this ever-changing environment in which new orders or recommendations seem to be coming in almost daily and really changing the environment in which we are working. In addition to the public health orders, we are closely monitoring the economy. We do know that these changes are having a significant impact on not only Walnut Creek's economy, but throughout the Bay Area, the state, and the entire country. As I mentioned earlier, restaurants can only provide food for delivery or takeout. Most retail is closed. To try to help with that, the city did recently compile a listing on our website of all the businesses, essential services that are open. And we're trying to get the word out as much as possible. In addition, we have made all parking free in the city of Walnut Creek. So if there's a silver lining to this, I suppose it's that. And we are not enforcing other than for ADA or life safety types of issues with respect to parking. And I do just want to emphasize that what we are doing is twofold. First and foremost, our priority is to help protect the public. And that is ultimately what we are trying to do, is to implement the orders that have been issued by county health. And then secondly, we are trying to be mindful of what we can do to help our local businesses survive this severe downturn. And then in addition, we are doing advanced planning. As of now, these orders from the county are in place through April 7th. In the event that they are extended either in their current form or in a different form, we are doing pre-planning to map out options for what that would look like. And with that, that concludes my update, Mayor.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from my fellow council members?
Mayor, I have a question for the city manager.
Thank you. Please go forward.
Thank you for the report, and thank you for all of the work that the entire city staff is doing to reorganize basically on a moment's notice and ensure that we can protect the public safety and public health. You mentioned that all parking in the city is now free. Does that include private parking, or were you only referring to the public parking owned by the city?
I was referring to public parking, but my understanding is that anything that's operated by ParkSmart is also, there's not being charged. If there are other operators beyond that, I'm not sure, but that is most private and certainly all public. And the reason for that, just to reiterate for folks, the rationale for why we charge for parking is to help manage capacity so that we can target an 85% utilization, and we are much below that level. So there's no need to charge at this point in time.
And then one other question, if you don't mind. Does this resolution and proclamation that we are affirming tonight, does it have an end date on it, or is this in perpetuity until we rescind it?
I believe it is in place until we rescind it. However, it has to be reauthorized every 60 days. In a typical emergency, the need for an extended emergency must be reauthorized every 2 weeks. However, one of the governor's executive orders changed that to every 60 days. I would defer to the city attorney if by chance I had that incorrect, but I believe that's the current case.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Any other council member wish to have questions? Matt.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Dan and staff, for all the hard work you've been doing over the last week in these unprecedented and uncertain times. In your report, Dan, I thought you had said that auto businesses were closed, but my understanding was under the county order, gas stations, auto repair, auto supply, those types of businesses will remain open. Is that right? Or is that your understanding?
Yeah, that's a good clarification, that repair and service is open, but auto sales are limited.
Okay, thank you.
Kevin, please.
Thank you for the update, Dan, and I really do appreciate what the staff is doing with everything. I also saw that there was an email that went out that we have a city page now that is keeping everybody abreast of all the businesses that are open, especially restaurants for delivery and takeout. and appreciate that's on the city website. And I just want to make sure that everybody that's watching this and everybody in Walnut Creek realizes that it's there and that we will continue to update that.
Absolutely.
Thank you both. Councilmember Waddell, do you have any questions?
I do not.
Okay, I don't. I do have a comment to say that I know, having watched it, that the staff has worked extraordinary hours trying to find the best, safest, and fairest way to handle this. And I think that we can say without a doubt that the council and is completely proud of everything that you have all done. And we appreciate all your efforts and hope it resolves quicker than they're telling us it might. Okay, is there any other further comments? If not, I'll ask for public comment just to be sure that there is none since the appropriate time. City Clerk?
Yes, we have 4 members of the public in the queue to comment.
Alrighty, you're where you can control that. Would you please take over?
Certainly.
Is,
Just a second, I'm bringing them in.
okay, thank you. We're to all of those who are watching, this is really our first experiment, and we're really trying to make it as smooth as possible, but none of us completely know what's going to happen next.
Charles, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Would you like to provide
Oh,
public comment?
no, I had no comment. I was just testing out the Zoom app, which is working pretty well. So that was it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm now going to bring in Deb MK. Deb? Okay, looks like we lost her. Oh, there she is. Deb, can you hear us?
It looks like she's got her mute on.
Hi
Deb,
there.
would you like
We're trying to see how to submit questions.
Well, you're in a good place to do that, Deb. We can hear you now. If you have a question, please ask it.
We're formulating our questions for listening. The problem is I use Zoom all the time and the chat is disabled and I don't see where to submit written questions. Did you know the chat is disabled?
We have the chat disabled. Yes, this is to provide 3 minutes of public comment. You can ask questions during public comment.
Okay, so you just want people to raise their hand and then you'll call us.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Deb, are you still there?
Yes, but we don't have our questions ready yet.
Okie doke. Thank you. All right. Do we have any other people?
We have Nicole Campbell. Bringing her in now.
Thank you.
I have a specific question. We're just joining in on Zoom.
No specific question?
No, not at this time.
Thank you.
Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you.
Next person.
I don't have a name for this individual. Do we have someone on the line that would like to provide public comment?
And
Okay,
I
that
interpret
appears to
that-
be all the public comment we have.
oh, there's Steve.
Steve? That's Steve Mattis.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I was on the phone line too. I think that was the line you just heard.
Okay. Okay. All right. That being the case, I will bring the discussion back to council. And if anybody has any more comments or questions, now is the time to comment or question.
Mayor, I'm ready to make a motion when we are ready to.
Okay, I think Matt has a question or a comment, or he hasn't removed his hand from the signal. Matt, do you have another question?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Mayor Pro Tem Wilk, will you please make the motion then?
Yes. In light of the circumstances, I would move to adopt the resolution ratifying Proclamation 20-0, declaring a local state of emergency related to the novel coronavirus 2019, declared on March 15th, 2020 by the city manager in his capacity as Director of Emergency Services.
Second.
Okay. Let's give the second to Cindy. Then, that being the case, may we have a roll call vote?
Mayor Pro Tem Wilk,
Aye.
Councilmember Silva,
Aye.
Councilmember Francois,
Aye.
Councilmember Waddell,
Aye.
Mayor Haskew.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you very much. I believe we're at the end of our official business, and the only thing left to do is to remind you that our next meeting is, we hope, April 7th at 6 o'clock. It's a regular meeting, and we thank everyone for their patience for helping us through our first real life experience of this new system. And I now declare the meeting adjourned. Everybody have a good, safe time. And thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.